Crick Buzz at Stumps with Adam Collins and Harsha Bhogle. What an astonishing, captivating day of Test cricket. It had it all. It had a collapse, had the recovery, had the genius century, had the twist at the end, Harsha. We were privileged to be here.
We were. It was an innings for the cricket lover. It was an innings for those who passionately love Test cricket. And it was an innings for the romantic. I forgot the ring. Where's my ring gone? Virat Kohli pulled out the ring as well. What a sense of occasion. But yes, it was fantastic. I mean, I've seen some really good innings from Virat Kohli over the years. This was very special.
Yeah, let's unpack why it was so brilliant. Let's talk about the collapse. Young Sam Curran, a 20-year-old, his second Test match, the youngest man to take a 4-wicket haul for England. He took 3 wickets in 8 balls and there was 4 in there, and he just had England going in the right direction either side of lunch. Ben Stokes comes out, takes a couple of quick ones, his 100th wicket in Test cricket as well. And all hell breaks loose when the scores are 100. Rahane goes, Kartik goes. There's a leg before wicket decision overturned. 2 drop catches, including Kohli. It was like a cauldron in here at Edgbaston. Again, the atmosphere was thriving.
I'll tell you what, the England Cricket Board will be saying, that's why we like 100. Things happen with 100, isn't it? That's what their scheme is. But you know, I'll be honest. First saw Sam Curran bowl. I hadn't seen him bowl before. And you thought Anderson and Broad, they've been overcome. The score's 50. You see this little kid running in. He looks 15 years old, by the way. I asked if he'd taken his mother's permission to come. And then he bowls those first couple of balls. And I remember telling Sanjay Manjrekar sitting next to me, said, I think he needs conducive conditions to bowl. And then all of a sudden, I thought the ball that got Shikhar Dhawan was a beauty. The left hand swinging back in, and he can bat too. I think it's an excellent find. But how good was that spell by Ben Stokes? I just absolutely enjoyed it. 10 overs on the trot, came in, banged the ball in. One comes in, one goes out. It was a fabulous spell.
He wasn't the only bowler to bowl 10 on the spin today. Jimmy Anderson did before lunch. And that contest with Virat Kohli, you said before, Harsha, that Virat's innings was partially brilliant on account of the fact that it wasn't swashbuckling. He needed to buckle down, especially when Jimmy was steaming in, seeing 2 of the greats of our game at the peak of their powers. Again, what a joy.
You know, at one point, I think it might have been T. His figures were 15, 6, 27, 0. I'm just thinking, you haven't seen the game. You're looking at the scorecard and saying, 15, 6, 27, 0 is bowled tight. You have no clue how well Jimmy Anderson bowled. He's 36. He's got a waistline that will never be 36. It's a fraction of that. He's so fit. He comes running in and he bowled beautifully. Anderson to Kohli was everything that you wanted it to be. You know, in the build-up to the series, you thought, wow, this is going to be great. It was everything you wanted it to be.
But then Milan drops Kohli on 21. The next ball, Pandya's put down by Cook at first slip. Again, while the score's all on 100, and that was the moment where the day shifted, where everything changed a wee bit. But even then, England did well to get back into it a second time and bring on another mini collapse after the tea interval. At that stage, Kohli was on 67. England was still more than 100 runs in the lead. England needed a couple of wickets to knock over India and get a big chance this evening. But instead, Kohli, batting with the tail, he faced nearly 80% of the balls in those last couple of partnerships. They put on 92 across them. That's going to ultimately be so important in the final analysis of this Test match.
Indeed it will, and we saw another facet to Virat Kohli there. We saw how he can pinch the strike. We saw how he played with the tail. He played 5 balls from Anderson, pinched a single. Next over 5 balls from Anderson, he pinched a single. Pinched one of Stokes' last ball as well. And he was just playing the field beautifully. And I think actually, when the tail-enders came in, it liberated him a little bit because now he no longer needed to be attritional and he started playing shots, and some of those shots were excellent. I enjoyed that phase, particularly, Adam, when they brought the field in after 3 balls from Adil Rashid. And he said, right, I'm going to go after him. And that's when the 4s and 6s came. The additional 25 runs came there. Yeah,
England seemed to capitulate at the end. They put on 57 for the final wicket. They looked to not try and get Virat out. They weren't able to keep him off strike. Umesh didn't face that many balls at all. He only made 1 run out of the 57 partnership, which is nearly a record in and of itself. They got it down to a deficit of just 13. Virat Kohli's 22nd Test 100, 4th against England, of course the first one in this country. His 15th as captain. It's a wonderful rap sheet. And also, he's only made 16 Test 50s. It's the best conversion rate from 50 to 100 since Bradman. So again, these numbers for Kohli continues to rack up.
You like your numbers, don't you?
On a day like today, yeah, how can you not? I'll give you one more. We talked about the twist. We talked about the twist at the end. Opening the bowling with Ravi Ashwin. It's the first time a spinner has opened the bowling for India in England since 1967, and it worked. for the second day in a row, Alistair Cook had a peach delivered to him, couldn't keep it out, and it puts England on the ropes tomorrow morning.
I think we'll have to ask Deepu this on Crick Buzz. But I think Ravichandran Ashwin has been India's most successful new ball bowler. Because in India, he takes a new ball so many times. Nice, hard ball. But I'll tell you a little bit more about Umesh Yadav's one. It reminded me of my time in senior school cricket. When you're just in, you go home and your mother asks you, how many did you make? Mummy, I made one. I said, is that all you made? But I had a partnership of 50 plus with a guy at the other end. It was, he blocked. That was his role. He blocked. And I think just that ball from Ashwin at the end, there's 7 left-handers in that England side. And I was watching it on TV and I thought, why are they showing a replay so late in the day, just before stumps? And then I said, oops, it's not a replay. But I think that last hour's play, last hour and a half's play, might just have pulled this match a little bit towards India. I still think it's about 50-50, but it just pulled the game a little bit towards India.
England's leads 22 with 9 second innings wickets in hand. Harsha, from what you've seen over the first couple of days, what sort of second innings total, indeed, what sort of lead will England need to feel comfortable when India come and bat a second time?
Look, India have been wobbly at the start. If England can set India 230, 240, I think it'll be a really good fourth innings.
Let's looking forward to it on Crick Buzz. What a cracking day of the best form of the game there is. Adam Collins and Harsha Bhogle for Crick Buzz. We'll talk to you tomorrow.